But we're going to do a couple of seats today. And this particular one here is off of that TT350. And Yamaha TT350. Nice thing about these ones, when you buy them, you know, they all come sewn and you know, ready to fit on whatever you're doing. And yeah, they're easy. I've got another seat that we're going to get off this mini bike and we're going to do ourselves with some material. I'll kind of show you a basic way of doing your own seats. But a couple things I like to use is a air-powered staple gun. Using shallow staples, I think these things are 1/4 inch. And a little bit of spray adhesive, because I like to put the spray adhesive on the top. Put this cover on, kind of lay down and get that tacked on there and get that all in place. It makes it a lot easier when you're stretching it around, and it stays in place. And that's really about all you need, you know. If you have a metal seat pan, well, those aren't going to work. You'll either have to use screws or the little fold-over tabs that they have underneath. And this one's already been taken apart and had the process started. But and the best thing to do is just work your way around. Get it pulled down in place. But we are going to get the spray adhesive on there. Let's get that aside. Now, one thing I learned, and I try to say this in my videos anytime I'm using something that's spray, right here on the can, you'll see a little mark. What you want to do is line up the nozzle with that mark. If you've ever sprayed something, spray paint or whatever, and you have none of the propellant left in here, but you can feel that you've got still paint left in there, it's because you didn't line that thing up. I just learned this not too long ago. And it works. You will have no paint left, but you will still have propellant left if you line the nozzle up with the little mark that's on top of the can. And it's either going to be a painted mark like it is here on this one, or it'll be like an actual physical mark in the can. Trust me, it works. I've been painting crap with spray paint since I was a kid, and nobody ever told me that. Now the foam's not that great back here on the back, but it won't make that big of a difference. You can add an extra layer, a little small thin layer of foam if you want to kind of get rid of some of that kind of stuff. I'm not making, museum bikes here, but it will look good and be more than enough for what we need. If there's big gouges and stuff like that, you're definitely going to want to address that, but this isn't bad. All right. Now let that tack up for just a minute. Okay, so that just kind of allows you to get everything kind of set in place, stretched out over it. Good to go. Now once you get to this point, you know, I always like to start kind of like in the center, like so. Kind of get that back. Now, as you go along, you know, you kind of want to stretch this out, try and get all the, you know, all the wrinkles and stuff out of the side. And so, kind of stretch it like that. Anytime you're doing this, you always, especially when you're going around corners, and we'll cover this a little bit more when we do the ones ourselves, you always want to go from the center. Anytime that you're doing something that's going to be close to a turn, you want to pull the center in first to see how it makes these little flaps. Then what you can do is you just kind of pinch them and fold them over, and boom. And as you can see, not perfection. You know, but a little white down, not bad. Now, of course, you got to go around and you know, finish tacking everything in place. But as you can see, looks pretty good. Good enough. Whoops. Staples. Little wipe down, she's good to go. You know, if you took this to a place and had the seat cover, you know, have it done and have it, you know, professionally, you know, these guys are doing it off of a pattern, you know, so I mean, it may not fit perfectly for your seat, depending on the age and the wear and, you know, all that kind of stuff on the foam. But as you can see, I mean, it fits pretty good, you know, other than a little bit of a wipe down. Good enough for me, probably better than what a lot of us are riding on. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to get this mini bike seat off, and we are going to do a little bit more of a custom job. And I use the word custom lightly. So, be back in a sec.